All right, guys, I'm back in the shop today. It's been a little while. I had a number of big projects I had to deal with, and I had a lot of issues with this bike that made me not want to work on it. But I'm finally back. I'm getting started again, and I actually have some updates. So the old intake manifold that I built just did not work. There was just not enough air velocity to carry fuel all the way up that high, and you could get it to run, but it would never idle in that current state. So I actually, off camera, I went ahead and I did some more work, and I'll show you guys right now. You can see an intake just sticking right off the side of the engine. You can see now, instead of doing one giant log manifold, I'm actually going 2 cylinders into one carburetor, those other 2 cylinders into that carb, and they are just gonna stick directly off the side of the engine. I do not like the way that looks at all. I've played around with putting the carbs there. They're huge, they stick out far. If you tip the bike over, you're gonna crush them, and then you're not gonna be able to run the engine because the carbs are gonna be all messed up. So this is not the final positioning of these carbs. This is a temporarily permanent solution because I just need to get this thing running and submitted, and when I have free time, I will properly fix it. Another small update, I got grips put on right there, and I got a throttle cable kit right here for the dual carb setup, which is now right here. So here they are, and actually I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, that, in my opinion, is butt ugly. Some of the other guys have seen it with both carbs on, and they think it looks really cool because it's different, it's kind of rat roddy. I hate it. I'm not a fan. It's not practical. I don't think it looks good. So I'm gonna have to change that. And actually, I kind of think that is not bad. And in fact, let me sit on it and take a look. Okay, so here I am sitting on the bike. Here's carb smushed up against gas tank. I hope I don't tip over. Come on. Okay. That, in my opinion, is gonna look a lot better. Cutting that down, putting a little right angle right there. I think that's gonna look slick, and it's gonna clean up the look a lot. Let's see if I can do it on this side too. Yeah, I'm down for that. I'll end up doing that. So it'll be wide. That is right where your knees want to be. So your knees are gonna be, out really far, but it just looks so much better than the super goofy carb sticking directly off the side of the engine. That's not working for me. I'll get that fixed eventually, but for today I'll move back. For today, I have new throttle cable to build, and I have to rejet the carbs because I did actually install the carbs and test it to see if it runs, and I could in fact get the carbs or get the bike to idle for the very first time. It idled at like 1,000 RPM. That was huge. That was awesome. I didn't film it because it was super late at night and I was super frustrated and I was just tired of filming, so my bad. I gotta be a little better about that. But yeah, so today, I'm gonna try and get it rejetted. The jetting I'm gonna try and use is for a CRF 250R. The reason I went for that is because this engine is a 600cc engine. That means that 2 cylinders is 300cc. A Honda CRF 250R is a very high horsepower 250cc engine. I think they're making like 36 horsepower or something. Whereas 300cc on this bike is making, I want to say like low 50s, or probably even lower than that, more like 48. So they're relatively close in displacement and horsepower, which means they're relatively close in airflow. So I'm gonna try out the stock jetting for 250R. Oh, and I'm gonna get the O2 sensor installed as well, and then that way I can actually do some tuning. Hopefully I'll also be able to install the shift lever and the brake lever. That would be awesome if I could get all of that done today, but that might be pushing it a little bit. First off, throttle cables. I'm not working today. I'm not answering that phone call. See you guys. Okay, got the throttle all tightened up. So now you can see right there, twist the throttle, opens up. And this is the same on this side. So now I've got fuel lines connected. I've got the battery charger right there. I actually installed a battery tender lead, finally. Been meaning to do that. This is temporary. This is a hot start, not a choke. So this choke increases air fuel mixture, makes it easier to start. This kind of does the opposite, makes it harder to start, but that's what you want when the bike is already hot and warmed up. I probably will not ever need this or even use it, but it does fit, so I might install it. I'm not sure yet, but that's just temporary how it's standing. And then if I come right here, yeah, there it is. Fuel entering the carbs. Should be doing the same thing on this side. I'm gonna hold the bike level so that the fuel enters both carbs evenly. And then as soon as that fuel stops moving, I'll be able to, I already got the chokes pulled out, as you can see. But as soon as that fuel is done entering the float bowls, I'll be able to start the bike up. Okay, I believe we're all ready for first test start with new throttle cable and choke and rejetted carbs. So turn ignition key on, wait for lights to turn off, turn ignition on, and then, okay, I actually forgot that the idle RPM is set as low as possible, so I'm gonna adjust that. See that little wire right there? I want to just open up the throttle. And it might take a couple times of turning throttle up a little bit more just to get started. Okay, I turned up idle just a couple of turns on each, so I think it's time. Oh my God, that was so easy. Oh, that sounds awesome. doesn't want to idle quite yet without choke. So I can get the bike to start pretty easily with choke on, and it'll rev up pretty high because I have the idles adjusted basically all the way up. It starts, it runs, you can get it to rev up, but it is clearly not happy with its current tune. So unfortunately that CRF 450 tune that I've got on it, I'm sorry, CRF 250R tune is just not the correct way of doing it. That's all right. I already knew that. This was just to kind of get a baseline so that I was able to start the engine. Now what I'm going to do is weld in a oxygen sensor so I can actually read the air fuel ratios. But let me show you this. Then it just dies. Yeah. It's close. It's super close. It sounded ended.
Close one.
Oh man.
Ah! Apparently the fuel is off.
Apparently the fuel is off.
Apparently. Ah, there you go. Let's see. Dude, he's actually riding it. All right. Yeah.
I got front wheel off the ground that time.
Oh yeah, you did?
I did.
That's awesome.
Just for a second, I think I might be out of gas.
Yeah.